Blog update. I never know how much of this or what of this is going to be posted, it's going to be uploaded, it's going to be edited, it's going to be included, or it's going to be curated. So I'm just going to go with the raw and the real and the uncut and unscripted. And let the chips fall they may, but stay in appreciation of God's covering. So I'm going to reference some information that may have been included in a prior post. If I didn't post something, if I did post something, because this is just getting it how I live it at this point. But I'm grateful. So a couple of months ago in late January, when I started the vlog, I was introduced to a influencer, a social media post because I follow Ayanna Van Zant, and Ayanna Fix My Life is one of my favorite shows, and it's actually what helped me to recognize my need for some psychological, physiological, sociological intervention, and helped me to use my EAP benefits to seek out therapy, to get therapy, to obtain therapy, and to find a good therapist and be able to have some resource for that, for my emotional cleansing and for my mental health. I got some resources. I had some homework assignments. I got some language, some tools, and I have been applying those consistently over the course of the last, that was in 2019, so 2018, 2019, so 8 years, 2019, so 7 years, because in 2028 it'd be 10, and this is 2026, so 8 years. But shout out to Dr. Kenya, very good at her job. And I have navigated that from a place of kind of an awareness of self reliance, self autonomy. It has grown and matured and changed into manifesting abundance and ease. Because I'm an only child, it was a lot of insulating, wall building as a tool, tearing down walls as a tool, and a lot of recognition, some apologizing, some uh, uh, offering repair, a whole lot of forgiveness in every which way, form, self, personal, experiential. But I'm grateful to be at where I am in this path. So Iyama was discussing her new project, her new book, her new project, and it's called Spiritual Hygiene. And practicing hygiene, that we in my family have been confronting an issue that has been prevalent, a contamination that has been prevalent that has to do with hygiene. So spiritual hygiene, of course, was attractive. Hygiene was a trigger, and I guess trying to figure out how to not project onto, but being affected by another person's psychosis, especially when that person is somebody that you care about, and then how to manage expectations or remove expectations, how to manifest abundance and ease, how to focus on my own health and healing, and still have to deal with the consequences of that with no projection, no heat, no judgment. So I had been I had been making every attempt to do that, but I hadn't cleaned up. I hadn't implemented accountability. I hadn't cleared. So I wasn't allowing. So, and spiritual hygiene is, I'm only on chapter 5, but spiritual hygiene, I can already tell, I've already experienced, was aligned with the path that God was placing me on, to vlog about it, to start talking about it, to start the vlog, and to start open the honest communication, open the lines of communication, connect to social media, sign up for the boot camp, for Just Jesse's boot camp, learn how to navigate some of these things, learn to how incorporate some of these things. I have been talking to one of my children about people will watch this, like the stuff that my grandkids watch, the things that I watch, the communities that I have become a part of that have been curated by influencers, and just by being intrigued to participate like in everyday life. I don't know if that's a resonating from the pandemic, or not really sure about all of the manifestation of that, but just jumping in, both feet forward, dipping a toe in, pulling it back out, doing a hokey pokey, and not in question of God, but just searching for what feels like. I keep it real, I keep it righteous, I keep it relevant. So just searching for my voice and my opportunity to be aligned. Then the multiple myeloma, blastosis diagnosis. Overwhelmingly unprepared, unexpected, and trying to navigate that, trying to use my tools, recognize where I need tools, implement my tools, lean in, let go, let God. Not to say that I had no prescription because it was totally unexpected. So I'm sure that I did some things wrong, but I was at least conscious of my uh of being overwhelmed. So I was at least cognizant of my condition. I knew it was something, did not know what it was. This was totally out of left field. Never heard of it. Never expected it. I'm still getting responses from people like, "Oh, I'm praying for you. I wish this wasn't you. I'm so sorry you're going through this. This made my heart heavy. It's hard to talk about. I thought about you. It brings tears to my eyes because of the work from my therapy and the connections that I was able to make, and the clarity that I was able to bring, and the elevation of manifesting abundance and ease. I mean, some of the best, most sincere, most thorough, most fulfilling relationships of my life have developed and grown. And some of the formerly unhealthy relationships, less than healthy relationships, have formed, reformed, matured. So I've just navigating that from a place of not even having a mental or emotional or even spiritual space that was without question, that was clear. But still communicating, still wanting to be appreciative of the avenue that God had opened. I was still doing my best to try to share, and definitely wanting to inform and incorporate my my village, my team, my support, my systems, my reasons, and also activate my faith when I didn't know what to pray, when I didn't know how to pray for things, when I didn't know how to even manage my emotion. I had like days that I couldn't stop crying, days that my prayer was, Lord, please don't let me get a crying headache on top of all the other pain, discomfort, dealings, uh, and trying to let go, trying to receive, trying to be open, trying to learn how to ask for help and navigate that. So knowing I was making missteps, and allowing myself and forgiving myself for those missteps. And I was compelled though to get this Audible book, to get this physical book, because I like physical books, but I kept going to Amazon, and I literally would crash my Amazon by typing in spiritual hygiene. Would crash my Amazon for like 3 times a day for 5 days, because it was all I could do. And I'm like a dog with a bone about some things. I have tunnel visions. That's why I didn't go through Google trauma. Still haven't gone through Google trauma with my diagnosis, because I can go down rabbit holes. Y'all can hear from my speech how I can, swerve. So from my post, how I can swerve. So trying to be intentional about not doing that. I was like, something is going on. Something is going on with my, because I could order anything else on Amazon. And I try not to use Amazon because I'm not like really a Jeff Bezos fan or any billionaire fan or any oligarch fan. But I could order anything else, and I was learning to receive. So people were sending me things, and I got a post about that. And I was receiving the deliveries, and I was able to use the Amazon for some of the, remedies, of the Asiatic teas and some of the holistic applications that I could use to get myself prepared for treatment, the diagnosis and treatment, but just to try to bring myself into this place and space, having done what I can, where I can, while I can for me. So I kept, I would type in spiritual hygiene, Amazon would shut down. I would go to Audible, it would show me that it was gonna be available, but it wouldn't let me access my Audible account. It wouldn't let me access my Prime. It wouldn't let me set up for anything. It would not connect me. So I prayed about it. I got distracted by the diagnosis and dealing with all of that and all of the spiritual work and emotional, psychological, and physical work of uh, managing that, and I couldn't get it. So I got comfortable with being uncomfortable and made my comfortable with being uncomfortable post update yesterday because of my first day of chemo, and I was spiraling out about well, did I update everybody, and so many messages and updates and checking and da. So I just started asking my friends, like, well, can you update them, can you tell them, can you share, um and they did, and I appreciate that. Shout out to my village. And but I was managing the first chemotherapy treatment, which I learned today was very, very aggressive because they go in high and hard. High like highest dosage, and hard like most aggressive approach up that highest dosage. Um, for my first treatment. Now I didn't know that. I didn't research it, didn't prepare for it. So one of the people in my village who saw the update that yesterday was my first treatment, who works in an oncology clinic, works with oncologists, works at the lab, works in science, reached out to say, God had put me on her mind, known me since I was in third grade. Um, and our families have stayed, maintain connect that type of connection. You maintain it. Kind of similar background from the country, migrated to the city, and that happens to be this city that we live in, and so invested in the city and contributing to the city's growth and development. So now in our 50s. So she reached out and with a lot of information that helped me not to have to spiral out, not to take myself through Google terror, but to give me some kind of relevant explanations for what I asked me how I was doing, and when I was telling her what I was doing, she's like, "This is from that, this from that, this from that." So I was grateful, and I was like so amazed. I was like, God has just been taking me through this, ordering my steps, just showing me and oh my God, preparing me for pitfalls that I didn't even know I would have to navigate, keeping me from being blindsided because I can only see where God has already put in place. I can feel God's hand guiding me through. I feel insulated. I feel love lifting me. I feel lifted. I feel like my steps are ordered. And I've gotten to the place where I've literally started speaking to my parts of my body. I've started speaking the pain. I've started asking God to take the pain away. I've started asking the pain to alleviate this, and let me, if I'm supposed to get used to wearing diapers, let me get used to wearing diapers. If I'm supposed to be comfortable with being uncomfortable, let me do that. And when people ask me, can I pray for you? Something, pray for, OIC, opioid-induced constipation. I'm not used to not being regular. It's a very, very uncomfortable, disquieting, disconcerting uh, area to navigate because it's 180 degrees, opposite end of the spectrum from being regular, despite having children, despite losing children, despite having fibroids, despite. So yeah. And then managing my emotions, because some people come at you spiritually aware, some people come at you spiritual terrorists, some people come at you emotional terrorists, and and just being in a place of overwhelmed, and God has even given me the words to say, the text to text, the explanations, the apologies for oversharing, uh, descriptions for you know making assumptions, jump to conclusions, wrong conclusions, whatever, and forgiveness for missteps and misnavigating and having to go back, and yeah, and grateful for repair, grateful for God. So that's where I have been, and that's what I have done. So today, the lady at Wendy's who was who thanked me for my smile, and we had both just finished watching a Tabitha Brown I think Snap, uh and she was in the car and she was playing So I Smile, and she said that song helped her through so much, and being able to smile through the pain, and the ministry, to talk about the ministry in the music. And I have a church member, close personal family friend, who I had just right before this diagnosis celebrated and cheered. Shout out to Stephanie, and shout out to Ed Archer. Just cheered her, not not showily, but just informing, like, hey, I'm at the live recording. And I feel like I can recognize her voice. She's always been a superstar to me. So it felt like, again, preparation, God's preparation, because I was excited for the ministry going forth. And so the lady at Wendy's, we were talking about that, navigating that. She was like, oh, well, celebrities, and did you post that? Did you comment on? I've never commented on Tabitha Brown's anything. And so I was like, she doesn't know who I am. And I was telling her about the boot camp, and actually being in conversation with Just Jazzy, another, I feel like she's a superstar influencer, and just being excited to be part of the communities, and telling her. So then that transitioned to me. So she was like, well, I want to follow you. Give me, tell me information, blah, 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 blah. I'm getting the Wendy's, which my appetite is on, but I needed to have something on my stomach because of the nausea, and I didn't want to throw up water. If I didn't throw up, so grateful for the prayers, but I didn't want to throw up water. So, thus the 2 chicken nuggets, 2 of the 4-piece chicken nuggets, and water. And she was asking me, she was like, she went to the post and she started watching what was just uploaded. So what was uploaded today, I guess, or last night. She was like, oh my God, she was like, I came in here attracted to your smile, and we were having a post about smiling, you're smiling through the pain, and da. She started sharing her testimony. She was like, I'm going to follow you, and you should blog this, and you should blog that. And she was like, this is like the manifestation of my introduction to spiritual hygiene. So I told her and so she pulled up her book. She pulled up her Audible. She shared it with me. It just downloaded the preview. Then it showed up in my library. Then I started doing it. Then I was like, well, I want to be able to share it. And I've been wanting this book, access to it. So I was able to, by doing that, having it added to my library, go back and use my Audible credit to purchase. Plus, I want Miss Van Zant to get everything God has for her. I believe in how God does the whole thing. So I was so excited. I started listening to it. I thought she was like, yeah, go. And I was like, only got a certain amount of time. I'm trying to do everything according to, listen to my body and God's leading. And I'm like navigating this circumstance, new to this. I had gotten a call from my daughter this morning that kind of blindsided me after a trauma that was triggered from my son at midnight. Well, same day, but at midnight, that interrupted and disrupted my being able to my recovery from my first chemotherapy, which was high and hard. But the prayers had already been prayed for me to be able to go through my chemotherapy. The vlog had already been vlogged. The discomfort had already been overcome, and I'm grateful. And I'm still getting messages while I'm trying to keep this recording going. I have still been working. I have still been managing. I've still been maintaining. My role design with you in mind has been accommodating. I brought work home. I actually still have clients that even after I told them, hey, I got to see how I feel after chemo. And they were like, oh yeah, I'm going to pray for you, but can I give you my stuff? Sorry for it being last minute. And I was like, I was trying to be, intentional about being finished before voting that I couldn't, because it was my first day of chemo. Yesterday was the first election that I wasn't able to work, and I was set to be assigned to be a poll judge this time. And so I was kind of dealt with the disappointment. That was kind of easy to navigate because postpone chemotherapy or work your ballot judge. But yeah, no. So, and it was all unexpected. So I was grateful for that. And, just trying to manage. So I was so excited. I sat in my car for probably 20 minutes. Didn't have y'all know how I feel about the, diaper. So when I got to kind of stay close to the bathroom, that's why I kind of took work. I was able to make it to work. I was in less pain. I was grateful for that. But then I realized I need to be close to the bathroom. Being close to the bathroom at work with a public restroom versus being close to the bathroom at home with a private restroom, still having to use the pen is another thing. I'm